So using alcohols, how to prepare the alkyl halide. So what is the general formula for alcohol? ROH. So this alcohol has to be converted into RX, that is nothing but alkyl halide. So I have to remove one OH group and I have to replace with one halogen. How can I bring about this? So there are three different methods by which we can convert the alcohols into alkyl halide. First one is hydrogen halide. Okay, so you have to take a hydrogen halide, that is nothing but HX, and bring about the reaction with the alcohol. And the second one is by taking phosphorus trihalide or phosphorus pentahalide. And the third one is I can take directly a thionyl chloride. Very important reaction is this. So I'll be telling later. This is called as thionyl chloride. So thionyl chloride is nothing but SOCl2. So I have three methods by using which I can bring about the conversion. So this is a substrate and these are called as attacking reagents. So I have three different attacking reagents by which I can bring about the conversion of alcohol into alkyl halide. So let us go one by one in detail. So the first one is by taking hydrogen halide. Okay, so we are taking HX here. So therefore HX make it to react with the alcohol. So you know that under alcohols we have three types of alcohols: primary alcohol, secondary alcohol and tertiary alcohol. So we'll write the reactions for all the three types of alcohol and let us understand one by one. So to begin with primary alcohol, I have taken CH3 CH2OH. Okay, so this is called as primary alcohol because here the functional group is bonded to a carbon which is in turn bonded only to one carbon. So therefore it is called as primary alcohol. So in case of primary alcohol, we have to make it to react with HCl. So here X can be chlorine, X can be bromine. That I'll tell you. The order of reactivity of various hydrogen halide I'll be speaking later. So here I'm taking HCl in presence of ZnCl2 as a catalyst. The role of this ZnCl2 is very important. What is it is? It has a tendency to break a bond present between the carbon and the OH group. And not only that, it acts as a dehydrating agent. So you know that I have H here and I have OH here. So the OH which is coming out after the cleavage of the bond will combine with the hydrogen present in the HCl, so that the byproduct will be H2O, dehydrating, removal of water. So and the left out product will be CH3 CH2Cl. Okay, so we are ending up with a haloalkane. Got my point? So this is in case of primary alcohol. So the next is regarding secondary alcohol. So if I take a secondary alcohol CH3 CHOH, again here CH3. So this is called as secondary alcohol because the OH bonded carbon is in turn bonded to two other carbon atoms. So therefore it is a secondary alcohol. So again here I should make it to react with HCl in presence of ZnCl2. So here also what will happen? ZnCl2 will cleave a bond so that OH will come out. The coming out OH will combine with the hydrogen from the HCl and water is eliminated. And you will be left out with CH3 CHCl, again here also CH3. So this is how secondary alcohols will undergo reaction. Suppose if I take tertiary alcohol CH3 CH3 CH3OH. So here I need not take a catalyst. Why I need not take a catalyst is because tertiary alcohols will readily form a tertiary carbocation, which is a more stable carbocation. So therefore the reaction will happen without the presence of a catalyst. Catalyst is not at all required for the reaction to be carried out here, and easily the reaction will happen with the formation of the tertiary alkyl halide. Got my point? So this is regarding the reaction. Here there are many concepts which you should know for your competitive exam. So what is that? Various concepts you should know about the competitive exams is, the first point is you should know that tertiary alcohols are highly reactive when compared to secondary alcohol. Then comes the primary alcohol. Because of that only, higher the stability, so the more stable the product formation, the reaction will happen. So therefore tertiary alcohols will react fast when compared to secondary alcohol and then primary alcohol. Why? Because here carbocations are formed as an intermediate. And followed by that, order of your hydrogen halide, HI followed by HBr, then comes HCl, then comes HF. Why is it so? Because you know that here hydrogen will remain same, halogen size are varying. Iodine has a very bulky size. Due to bulky size, we have already seen that the bond dissociation enthalpy in HI is very, very low. So therefore, iodine will come out very easily so that it can attack to a substrate that is for alcohol to form a alkyl halides. Got my point? So this is regarding the order of substrate and as well as order of your hydrogen halide. Now, we have seen that we have taken a mixture of zinc chloride with HCl. So here you should know what is meant by Lucas reagent. Very important. Lucas reagent is nothing but it is a mixture of anhydrous ZnCl2 with concentrated HCl. So if I take a mixture of anhydrous zinc chloride with a concentrated HCl and if I bring about the reaction is also called as Groves process. Okay, so we have certain name reactions. Name reactions plays very, very vital role for your theory exams. Okay, fine. So here we have a Groves process when we take a Lucas reagent and we can bring about the conversion of the alcohol into a alkyl halide. Okay, so now next is, suppose if I want to prepare a halogen specifically with a bromine. Okay, so if I want to prepare a bromoalkane or alkyl bromide, I have a different method or different approach. How is that? So here I want alcohol to be converted into a alkyl bromide. What reagents I'm supposed to use here is, I have to take HBr. Of course, HBr will be taken, but we are not taking zinc chloride, but we are taking sulfuric acid as a catalyst. So again here also sulfuric acid will act as a dehydrating agent. That means it will remove a water content. So therefore, how to write the reaction? Very simple. ROH, make it to react with HBr in presence of sulfuric acid. So what will happen here? Water is removed and you will end up with a alkyl bromide with a removal of water. Okay, so there is another one method. How is that? So you have to take a alcohol, make it to react with a potassium bromide in presence of sulfuric acid. So here sulfuric acid is not acting as a solvent, it is undergoing reaction here. What will happen? Being an acid, it will give one proton. That proton will react with a OH and you can expect one byproduct as water. So what is left out now? You have HSO4 minus. That HSO4 minus will have an affinity towards the K plus ion. So therefore you will have KHSO4 as a byproduct, and what is left out now? Br and R group, which can combine to form RBr. So this is another one method for the conversion of alcohol into alkyl bromide. Got my point? In a same way, I can also prepare iodoalkane. So by using HI with a H3PO4 as a catalyst. Got my point? So how is the reaction happening? ROH, make it to react with a HI in presence of H3PO4 as a catalyst. Again, what will happen here? There will be removal of water and you will end up with the alkyl iodide. Okay, so we can also take metallic iodide also. So take ROH, make it to react with Ki in presence of H3PO4. So you will end up with a Ri. How did you get this? This, then this. Being an acid, so what will happen? It will give out one proton. That proton will combine with a OH to form H2O, and you are left out with H2PO4 minus. That will combine with a K plus to form KH2PO4 as a byproduct. Okay, so this is how the reactions are happening when we take a alcohol and make it to react with a hydrogen halides. So second method is, How does it react with a phosphorus trihalide and phosphorus pentahalide? Okay, so here we have to look for the reaction of PCl3 and PCl5. Why is it so? Why not with a PBr3 and PI3S? Because they don't exist in nature. So therefore we cannot do the reactions with PBr3 and PI3. So we are carrying out the reactions only for the chlorine. So now let us look on for the reaction. So here I have to take a alcohol. First I have to take trihalide. So we'll take specifically PCl3, and here the product, you know, I should end up with a RCl. Okay, RCl. How to write a byproduct? Very simple logic here. Look over here. I have 3 halogen. Got my point? So therefore what I'll do, I'll multiply here with a 3. So therefore I'll be having 3R. I'll end up with a 3 alkyl halide. Okay. So along with that, byproduct is very simple. I have 1 phosphorus, 3 hydrogen, and 3 oxygen. If I combine that, I'll end up with one of the phosphoric acid of oxo acid of phosphorus, that is H3PO3. Got my point? It is called as oxo acid of phosphorus. So this is how you have to write the reaction. Even though balancing of reactions in organic chemistry is not accepted, but for your PCl3, if you remember this logic, you can write the byproduct very easily. Very simple. So since I have 3 chlorine, I have multiplied with a 3. So it will become 3ROH. That means there are 3R, 3Cl combining to form 3 alkyl chloride, and I'm left out with 3 hydrogen, 3 oxygen, 1 phosphorus. Combine that, you will end up with one of the oxo acids of phosphorus, which is H3PO3. Got my point? So it is very simple logic which you have to remember. And if I take a PCl5, make it to react with the alcohol. So now what will happen? Of course, I want a alkyl chloride. Okay, RCl I have written. What are the byproducts in case of PCl5 is, so here you will get one acid HCl, one H and one Cl. Okay, so how many are left out now? So out of 5, 1 is here, 1 is here. So 2 is removed, you are left out with a 3 chlorine. 3 chlorine, 1 oxygen, 1 phosphorus. If they combine, it will be POCl3 phosphorus oxychloride as a byproduct. Okay, so this is a second method for the preparation of the alkyl chlorides, specifically alkyl chlorides. Okay, so then last method under alcohol is you have to go with a name reaction, very important method, which is called as Darzens process. So this is a very best among various methods of preparations for alkyl chlorides, specifically only for alkyl chloride. Darzens process, it is well known for alkyl chloride preparation. So how is that? What is happening? Let us understand. So here we are taking a alcohol. Okay, so make it to react with a thionyl chloride. What is thionyl chloride? SOCl2. So SOCl2 in presence of pyridine as a base here. Got my point? It is acting as a base. Got my point? Pyridine is a base, or if I don't write a pyridine also, I'll be telling the reaction. So here what will happen? R and Cl will combine to form RCl, and along with that SO with 1 oxygen, you will have a liberation of sulfur dioxide, which is a gas, so it will escape out, and along with that hydrogen with a chlorine, you can expect a HCl, which is also a gas in absence of pyridine. Okay, in absence of pyridine, HCl gas can be escaped. If I write a pyridine, another one logic is there. Being an acid, it will react with a base, because pyridine is acting as a base, you will end up with a salt. Salt will settle at the bottom and you will be left out only with the alkyl chloride. It is the best method for the preparation of alkyl chloride. Why? Because here the byproducts are getting escaped by themselves. So you need not separate them. Separation is not required, and we are ending up with the purest form of alkyl chloride. So this is all about Darzens process for the preparation of alkyl halides, and then PCl3, and followed by that another one is hydrogen halide. Okay, so we have 3 methods under alcohols. So this is all we have done. So we'll continue further with the remaining methods apart from what we have studied in the previous classes.